Hey guys, welcome back, and today we're going to be installing this from Hanstra. Let's get right into it. Let's get this opened up. Let's see what we have inside. Nicely packaged, taped all around. And what we have here is a screen rotation bracket for the 2024 Tesla Model 3. We'll open it up and see what we have inside. So this looks to be the bracket that makes the rotation happen. So you're gonna have, I believe this is the cover for the temperature sensor for the car, for the vehicle there. We have this piece, which I believe is the cover for the actual screen at the bottom there, made of plastic here. This is a nice piece of metal, plastic here as well. Then we have different tools, it just looks like tools, some screws in there. Perfect. And then we have this piece right here, which I think is the last piece that we will be putting in at the bottom, I believe. So let's get this installed. As you guys know, the screen on the Model 3 is fixed, unlike the screen on the Model S and X. So this is going to be a nice little feature to have, because right now it just sits right there, and once we replace this or we install the new mount there, the swivel mount, it should be able to rotate both up and down, or should be able to go up and down and rotate side to side as well. So like I said, right now, look at that, no movement at all. So we'll replace the original mount with a swivel mount, and it says it takes about 20 minutes or so to install. We shall see, because I am not the most handy person out there. So we'll see what it'll take a non-handy person, or how long it'll take a non-handy person to install this. All right, so let's start taking this apart. So we're going to be doing our first drive after installing the swivel mount. As you can see, it's already on. It's angled towards me. And my first impression is that it's a little low. It's definitely lower than it was before. I think before it was maybe like up here or so. But that's definitely my first kind of, I don't want to say con to it. I guess maybe I was just used to it being slightly higher. So we'll see if it really messes anything up, or if it's an annoyance or if I get used to it quite quickly. Right now it's angled towards me here. I'm not going to move it while I'm driving because I feel like you do need two hands. It's pretty sturdy to move it. I guess I could force it this way. So it's coming, so it's angled this way and then it's raised a little bit this way here. Putting it on or installing it was actually, for me at least, it was a little much. Not much. I mean, there were some parts I just didn't understand the instructions, the instruction manual that comes with it. It's first off, it's a piece of paper that says go to this QR code. So then you get a website instead of having an actual sheet of paper with the instructions on there. And then they did have an install video that I saw on their website that seemed to be an official install video, which is only 2 minutes long, and only about maybe a minute and a half of that was actually the installation of the thing here, so of the swivel mount. And it was clear, but there were still things I was like, what? One of the things that was slightly different was that I don't know why, but my cable that that connects the screen, the cables that connect the screen to the car weren't as long as what they had. They were like literally like resting it on the actual console here in the middle, while I had to have it kind of raised with one hand because otherwise it'd be hanging. At the end, putting it back together was kind of a pain because you had to align some of those what do they call some of the holes, and they just didn't really match up, so you had to kind of play around with them, and then you can't really see back there. But I got it off, was able to install it and put it all back together, and we'll see if and for how long I keep it like this. Maybe I get past the hole, it's a little low, or maybe I like it that it's lower. But we will see. Only time will tell. This is actually our first drive with the screen swivel mount here at a stop sign. At a light. I'll move the screen over a little bit to show you how far over it goes. And so far you can see it's hitting bumps and it's not moving, so it's in there quite well. I'm gonna move it around a little bit too from here and here. Nothing. I'm not really pulling or pushing that hard, but enough that if it was loose, it should theoretically move. Trying to think what parts were kind of annoying. I was really afraid of when you take that back panel out, the plastic panel. I was afraid of breaking. Honestly, I was afraid of breaking a lot of things, right? Breaking any of the pins from the connectors, because they're just plastic. So if you move it too much, and then it wouldn't work. Breaking the actual screen. What else? Stripping some screws, the plastic piece, that the original plastic piece that you have to take off first. I was afraid of breaking that because they give you this metal, I don't know what you want to call it, like this little metal piece to pull it off, to pry it off, a little pry tool. I would have preferred it were plastic, but that's what they give you. We used it, and I did actually break a little piece off, but it was from the inside, so even if I put it back, you'll never know. So it wasn't the worst thing in the world, but I did, and I was like, oh crap. And honestly, when I was doing it, I wasn't looking under, I was kind of feeling, I put it in there and just kind of wiggled down. and that's how that came out. But then, I tried to get under and looked to see how I can get it more easily, and I was able to, not fully pull hard, but kind of like, I don't know how to explain what I did there, but instead of just kind of just pulling down, I just kind of like put two hands on it, I think, and kind of use the force that way. One thing that, as you guys know from my previous videos, I have been putting my phone under here, and right now it's under there right now on the charging pad, and it being lower. Not that when notifications come in, it comes towards the bottom of the phone anyway, so I can see those there regardless. But it being lower, I don't have, that easy kind of like, just put the phone back down, like there, I'm gonna hit the screen. So I have to kind of go under and up and then put it down. Something to think about, and it may not bother anybody because some people may not even use the wireless charging pad. They may have their phone up here, and that is kind of a positive, right? A pro for having the screen a little bit lower. When you do have your phone or the screen lower, you can get, and if you do use one of those phone holders that attaches to this, now your phone won't be as high. It'll definitely be lower here, and you'll be able to see more of this. Not that it covers that much, but it does. I mean, we have it in the Model Y, and we got used to the phone being a little higher, where you don't see a little bit right around here. But now, because this is lower, that actually might be a better fit with this potential setup. I have had no red lights so far, which is great, but I haven't been able to swivel the screen, move the screen up or down, which is fine. We'll get to one eventually. But for this ride, I just want to kind of show you that, it is pretty sturdy. This is the first actual drive that I'm doing with this swivel mount installed. So we'll see over time. Another thing that I'm kind of worried about, probably over time, is the wires that connect, the cables that connect from the car onto the screen. Because you're moving the screen this way, that way, and there isn't, the longest cable, you do have some give. Like, are those wires going to start to get messed up? Are they going to get kinked? Are they going to start to bend until they're kind of faulty, and then you got to, get a new wire harness, I guess, and I don't know how easy that is to replace, because I'm going to feel under here right now, and they're not like they're bent at all. I mean, I can still kind of move them around, but still, like, it's not, I feel like it isn't, there isn't the most amount of give. So that one is something I'm more worried about long term, if that'll get bent, kinked, to the point where they have to replace that. And I don't know if that's something that is a real concern, or something that I think is a concern. And I guess we'll kind of just keep monitoring that to see how that goes, and if there's any issue whatsoever. I was just at a light there, and I should have kind of played with the screen, but I was talking to you about the wires, the cables that connect, and I didn't want to just stop my thought there. This being my first time, doing this, installing this in swivel mount, it did take me a lot longer, like I said, but if I had done this previously, or if it's something that, people do continuously, this is going to get faster, faster, and faster. I feel like, always the first time you do something takes a little bit longer. Not that I'm going to be, starting up a swivel mount install business where I can get it down, in 20 minutes or so. But you know, just saying, if you've done something like this before, or if probably handier than I am, then you could quite possibly get this done in 20, 30 minutes. One video that I saw, it wasn't this exact swivel mount, but it was very similar. The person was like, you know, you can definitely get this done within 30 to 45 minutes, which I feel is probably more closely to, you know, normal time. 20 minutes is probably somebody with like a lot of experience, you know, doing this, maybe buying one, trying it out, doing it again. But I do feel like this mount is a pretty good mount. I mean, it's sturdy. It doesn't just, you know, lose its, it's not loose, I guess what I'm trying to say, where it, you know, it just moves freely or doesn't stay. Like if you put it somewhere, it stays right there. I wonder if over time, granted, if you move it a lot, it'll probably loosen up more, but I'm actually quite happy with where it is right now. Now here we stopped at a light. Let's kind of move it over. See, that goes as far as it goes that way. And then here we can go high. There, bring it down there, which I would never probably use it there. But right about there is pretty good. And I can bring it back this way. That's as far as it goes this way, which if I'm not mistaken, I think it said it was 30 degrees to either way, right or left, and 15 up and down. But that's pretty good right there, I think. I'm on my way to pick up my son. I wonder if he'll notice that this is different, that I put something else here. He might notice. We'll see. But again, you know, I kind of keep playing with it. That's as far as it goes that way. There. I think it's pretty good there. All right, let's go.
Why is it like so blurry?
What's blurry?
That.
What do you mean?
It's blurry to me. I like where I am, it's blurry.
Oh, yeah? That way? It looks blurry from your side?
Mm-hmm.
And I guess with the angle, view and angle, right?
Mm-hmm.
You don't notice?
Well, it's turned.
Yeah.
Okay.
Didn't turn before.
Adjuster on it.
Huh?
There's an adjuster on it.
Yeah. It's a little lower than I was. I mean, it's cool, I guess, right? That was the first drive using the swivel mount. I think it did pretty well. There was no movement, and it's quite sturdy. And I think I might be getting used to the height, which is kind of using some of these buttons down here. Now I can just leave my hand on the armrest and just kind of go up and down, especially these bottom ones here. But we'll give it a little bit more time and see how it goes. But so far, so good. So that is the installation and a quick little walkthrough, I guess, review of the swivel mount for the 2024 Tesla Model 3. Like I said, it is a little low, but I think I'm getting used to it. I've driven the car a few times, and I actually like where it is, and I'm getting used to it now, so I might keep it for a little while. We'll kind of keep monitoring, you know, keep tabs on these wires under here to make sure they're not getting kinked, because like I said, that's probably my biggest worry with this, other than I guess it falling off, but you know, everything should be pretty tight. And as I am making some of these videos, some of these B-roll shots, as I'm moving the screen here, I do feel something's a little loose. I don't know what it is exactly. Maybe nothing. It's just you kind of hear the plastic moving a little bit, and that's pretty much what it could just be, just the plastic making the noise. It just sounds a little strange. I'll probably get on passenger side in a little bit and see if there's anything that looks loose, and then maybe tighten that up if needed. So Hansjo was nice enough to send this over to me to install, try it out, give you my honest feedback, and I think that I will keep it for a little bit. I think it works nicely, it swivels nicely, it's not super loose where that it just kind of keeps moving. I've hit bumps, just your normal driving, and it doesn't move. I'll put the link down in the description below, and if you use the code Crux of Tech at checkout, you'll get 20% off your entire purchase, including a swivel mount or anything else that you find on that website that you want to try out for yourself. So if you've liked this video, you know exactly what to do. Give it a nice thumbs up. Consider subscribing if you haven't, and any comments, questions, suggestions, put them down in the comment section below. I definitely love hearing from you, and if you have any ideas of other videos that I should make, let me know. And like always, keep on living a modern lifestyle through technology. Bye. Peace. I'll see you on the next one.